Yo, what up? We've reached the end of E3. I always liked how E3 concludes with Nintendo's press conference because they're the ones I tend to care about the most. And I know a lot of people are banking on this one being good because they found a lot of the other press conferences to be lackluster. And I don't know if they'll be disappointed or not. Because in my opinion, we got a very middle-of-the-road direct. Out of all the E3 directs Nintendo has done since the Switch came out, I think this might be one of the weakest, but I wouldn't say this is a bad direct. I think it's because the ones we got in 2017 and 2019 were really good. Much like they did, let's just jump into it with Smash's reveal. I don't care about Tekken. Here's the good thing about Smash's DLC. I don't expect all of them to be catered to me, and so far in the second Fighter's Pass, there have been 3 characters I liked. It doesn't matter that I don't care about Tekken, because I've already been satisfied enough with this DLC. Like, I'm bummed it's... Is it Heihachi? What was another guy? I know all about Tekken. Kazuya Mishima? Am I getting that right? Whatever, there's still one more character, and there's loads more I obviously would have preferred in Smash. But like I said, I'm not mad about it. I think it's really smart for Nintendo to put the Smash reveal at the top of the show. I feel like overall reactions to the Direct will be better as a result, because all the people who only came here to look at Smash aren't going to be mad when their character isn't announced after they sat through a 40-minute Nintendo Direct. They're just going to leave as soon as the Smash reveal is done. So everyone else still watching legitimately cares about what Nintendo has to show off. Honestly, I think the worst part about it is that we only got 1 character announcement and not 2. They did it for E3 in 2019. I was really hoping they were going to do it again. Moving on from that, the new Mario Party is hype as hell. This is legitimately what the top 100 should have been on 3DS. Just a collection of older boards and good mini-games from the older games. I don't remember the count for the mini-games, but they confirmed at least 5 boards are coming back. And full controller support is good, so you're not forced to use single Joy-Con for this game like you did for Super Mario Party. I also watched the Treehouse afterwards, so a lot of what I'll be talking about for games that were shown off there will be from there. Like this one, for example. Once again, having to ready up for minigames is back from Super, but I have mixed feelings about that. On one hand, it's good, so everyone's actually ready to play the minigame, but on the other hand, people don't ready up. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing Super Mario Party with my friends, and at least one of us is just like, guys, can you please ready up? I hope that's a toggle in this game, but I feel like that's something that's so small that although a lot of people might experience it playing Super Mario Party, they wouldn't complain about it. One thing I know they're probably not going to change, but I hope they do before launch, is that they give the Mario Party 3 minigames their aesthetic back. Everything in Mario Party 3 looks like a pop-up book, and they took that away from those minigames. Maybe if there's a Mario Party 3 board, it will keep that aesthetic, but the minigames won't. I feel like that's something that would look very good on modern hardware, and I really hope they put it back in. Oh my god, if the Mario Party 3 board isn't Waluigi's board, they fucked up. Oh shit, Control Shtick might be back. Say that 5 times fast. And they're actual duel mini-games again. Super had like these really small, more so micro games that you would do for duels. But in the Treehouse, they showed that true duel mini-games are back, and that's really good. I really like how they did the announcement for the new Metroid game. As the trailer starts, it is pretty spooky, and as you're watching it, you're just thinking to yourself, oh sweet, a new 2D Metroid game. Title drops, and it's like, Metroid Dread. It exists! It actually exists! There's some games that are just so fabled and rumored that when they finally get announced, you just feel so happy. Like it took them this long to even start the race, and now you can see the finish line is in sight. It's the exact same feeling I got when Starfield was announced. It's just something that they wanted to do for so long, and now they're finally getting it done. As for the actual game itself, I really liked what they showed off. I think it might have been the most hyped thing at Nintendo's E3. In the Treehouse, they were talking about improvements this game had over the return of Samus. Samus Returns, whatever the 3DS version is called. And it seems like they're using that game as a very strong jumping off point. Everything from the Treehouse made those robots, the Emmys, I think they're called, seem like a Resident Evil villain, where they kind of patrol an area, and if they see you, they're super strong and will basically insta-kill you. And I guess that's where the dread comes from in this game. I like it. How Samus can be killed by them seems very brutal, and stuff like that is always fun in games. The cat and mouse sections will give you a lot of dread, and when you reach the end of the game and you're finally able to kill them, it is so satisfying. It looks really fun, and I like the collector's edition that they showed off. I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on that. During the Direct itself, I didn't take any notes from Mario Golf, but I really liked what I saw from the Treehouse. I prefer how this game is handling special moves compared to the other Mario Golf games I played. I don't know how the 3DS Mario Golf handled it, but I prefer how this game handles special shots compared to Toadstool Tour. In that game, it was purely just distance. But here it is actually a different shot for the characters. From what they show off, Mario gets a lot of height on his, and Pauline's was the opposite, where it's a lower shot that goes far. I think you build up a special meter instead of having a set amount too. I'm pretty excited for this game, but I probably won't pick it up at launch. Maybe when I see it used after a patch or two, I'll get it.
Go bananas!
Dude, Monkey Ball is back. Hell yeah! I should have texted my buddy that. I feel like that series has been so neglected since its creator has moved on to the Yakuza games. Although I'm unsure if this is like a collection or a new game. I just looked it up. It's a remaster of Monkey Ball 1, 2, and Deluxe. So it's all the good Monkey Ball games in one collection. My biggest hope for this game is that they keep in a lot of the speedrunning tricks. I highly recommend watching Super Monkey Ball speedruns. They are very good, and you are doing yourself a disservice by not watching them. Cruising gets my E3 award for... Wait, what the fuck? The series isn't dead? Oh my god, we are getting a new Cruising game before a new F-Zero game. That is sad. I didn't even take it in while I was watching it, because I'm just like, oh my god, that's so neat that they're still making Cruising games. Hey Capcom, why did you show off Monster Hunter Stories 2 so much at this E3? Did it really have to be at Keely's event, your event, Nintendo's event? Did Xbox have it? I don't remember, but it feels like it. And the Treehouse footage didn't really sell me on it, mostly because it looked like the game was stuttering during combat. I guess I'll talk about it now just because it came to mind. I'm not really surprised we didn't get a Switch Pro announced here. I don't think Nintendo has ever announced a hardware revision at E3. It's like Pokemon games. They always do it either around E3 or nowhere near it. It's all but confirmed at this point, but we're probably not going to hear about it for a little bit. I don't know why I'm surprised WarioWare isn't dead, but those games are always fun, and I really like what they appear to be doing for this one. Multiple playable characters is an amazing way to increase the replay value out of these games, and it's going to be interesting to see which characters are better for which micro games. It's an extra layer of strategy that WarioWare never really had, and it's good to see. I am also baffled this is the first time we're getting co-op in a game, or at least this game will have a heavy focus on co-op. I can legitimately see this being the best WarioWare game. Fatal Frame is coming to Switch. I should really play Fatal Frame. And maybe this will be the time? One series I always missed out on when it was at its peak was Advanced Wars. I didn't really care about tactical games until after I played Fire Emblem Awakening, and at that point I think Advanced Wars was long dead. Hell, this might be the first one to come out since I played Awakening, and I am very excited for this remake. I love its art style for the portraits. They all look like Saturday morning cartoons. And the units themselves, they look very toy-like. This whole thing feels like a kid playing Army with his toys. I absolutely love this game's art style. My only problem with how it looks is the border. It looks very cheap. It's obviously a lower budget game, and that's the only part where you can really see the game's budget lacking. It seems like a very fateful remake, and I am very excited to play it. Some of the stuff they're adding in the Age of Calamity DLC looks very fun. Can't complain about a playable Guardian. Link's new weapon looks like a blast, and I wonder if it's going to be in Breath of the Wild 2. All of the weapons in that game Link can already wield in Breath of the Wild 1, and that's why I think it might be in 2. I find it hilarious that the motorcycle exists in Breath of the Wild, and seeing it here is just great. Honestly, I wasn't too impressed with the bigger Zelda thing they showed off at this E3, the Game & Watch. That and the Mario one are super neat, but I feel like the only way I'm going to pick that up if there's literally nothing else releasing around it. Okay, in actuality, Breath of the Wild 2, 2022 release date. That hurt a bit. Before COVID happened, I was so sure we were getting Breath of the Wild 2 for the Series X and the PS5 launch. I don't know if their plan was always to release it in 2022, or if COVID pushed it back out of 2021. And the gap between announcement and release for 3D Zeldas are always so long and painful. As for the trailer itself, I really liked what we saw. Some of the new stuff Link can do looks really fun, and I'm happy they gave us confirmation that there will be new areas to explore. I was kind of worried it was just going to be the map from 1 but a little different, and I'm happy they confirmed that we're going up into the sky, because it just shows out there's going to be more unique areas in this game. And it kind of explains why we're getting an HD remake of Skyward Sword. Like, yeah, Nintendo wants the money, but I think they're trying to use that to get us reacquainted with how the land above works in these games. And before we wrap her up, I want to talk about what I'm sad we didn't see. For Pokemon, I really don't need to see the Gen 4 remakes that much. I already know what I'm getting into, but I really need to see more of Legends. I'm excited for it, but I'm still erring on the side of caution right now. But that game could also be the game I've always wanted out of a Pokemon game. I was fully expecting a new Fire Emblem to get announced today. I probably should have figured we weren't when Advanced Wars got announced, but I've seen a lot of rumors saying we're getting a Genealogy of the Holy War remake. And out of the Fire Emblem games we never got in the West, that one was the one I was always most interested in. It helps that there's like a lot of parallels between that game and Three Houses. Like the crests in that game are basically in Genealogy. If it exists, I feel like we might not see it until next year now. On the note of tactical RPGs, I should have figured we weren't going to see anything from Project Triangle Strategy because it's coming out next year. I love Octopath Traveler, and that game's art style being used in a genre I prefer more is very exciting. I hope Bayonetta 3 is doing okay. Seems like it's not okay. They either announced it as soon as that game started development, or it's screwed. That rumor Donkey Kong game didn't get announced. Maybe it's coming out next year, so they decided not to put it in this direct. I was hoping for a new Mario game. I feel like we're getting to the point where we should start expecting a new 3D one to get announced soon. I think it's all but confirmed that whatever Retro was working on before they got moved to Prime 4 is dead. I wouldn't mind hearing what Next Level is doing next. Now that Nintendo owns them, I hope they're not jumping into Luigi's Mansion 4, because I would absolutely love for them to make a new Mario Strikers game. They are by far the best Mario sports games. Expect me to make a video on that. And I would absolutely love a new entry. So I'm sitting here thinking, man, I know there's one more developer in series that we didn't hear from that I really wanted to. And that's really funny, because I was sitting here staring at my copy of Xenosaga 1 that entire time. We're Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Monolith. You might be working on Xenoblade Chronicles X2. I'll be a little less excited for that, but I'll still take it. Maybe a new IP. I don't know. I just want Xenoblade 3. See this? That's every Xenoblade fan internally right now. And I'll take this time to actually talk about Mario and Rabbids, because my Ubisoft video was just a joke. And much like with Metroid Dread, this game looks like it is capitalizing very heavily off of its predecessor. Don't want to overhype myself too much, but I can see myself making a video about how good of a sequel that game is. And well, that is the last event for E3 2021, unless Sony does a state of play soon. If they do it within the month, I'm just going to put it in the same playlist as all of these other videos. My initial reaction after the Nintendo Direct was to give it a C, but talking about it now, I think I really liked what they showed off. The thing I think I'm least likely to play is the Tekken DLC for Smash. Probably won't play this guy, but I already own him. There's just a lot of solid mid-tier announcements from Nintendo. They talked about No More Heroes 3 after the Treehouse. I didn't take notes for this because it wasn't even a part of the Treehouse stream. They just uploaded a video afterwards for some reason. I was a little worried about the game, but after seeing it in action, it looks very fun, and I am no longer worried. Yeah, as I was saying, it's just a very solid lineup of B-tier announcements from Nintendo, and two cherries on top, being Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Dread. It isn't saying Dread actually exists. Dread was the only game I got really excited for when they showed it off. I don't know if it's better than Summer Game Fest or not. I want to say no, because a lot of these announcements were very geared towards a hardcore Nintendo fan. Like, I would label Advanced Wars and WarioWare as deep cut announcements for a Nintendo fan. And again, I feel like it was very smart for Nintendo to put the Smash announcement at the top of the show. I've seen a lot of positivity online about this Direct, and I feel like it would be more negative if Smash was at the end. And I guess that's it for E3 2021. If I had to rank everything going from the bottom up, I would say Square came in last, then Ubisoft. I think I'm going to put Summer Games Fest under this Nintendo Direct, and Xbox at the top. Congratulations, Microsoft. You have won E3 2021. Thank you to everyone who watched these videos. This is my first E3 since starting this channel, and it was a very interesting change of pace watching E3 this year because of it. Prior years, I would just watch it and move on. But this year I had to make sure I was taking notes during it, and I had to make sure I was taking enough mental notes too about the press conferences for the videos. It was really fun doing this, and I've really gained a lot of respect for people who do this every year and cover every press conference. And unless I'm forgetting anything, I think it's time to move on from E3 2021. Do you agree? Think I'm an idiot? Comment down below. Dislike the video if you think Sony won E3 this year, and subscribe for more bad content. Follow me on other platforms if you want. Take care, guys.